we're going to talk about the steps of drawing. In our 5-minute drawing practice, what should you be doing? So to start out with, for our example, we're going to use this log. And the first step in drawing it is just to do a contour sketch, like we practiced our blind contours, but you don't have to do a blind contour, you can look. At this point, you're going through and you're just kind of blocking it out. So as you go, you might make mistakes in proportion. It may not be totally correct, but you're going so light that it's not going to matter. So I'm going to kind of step back and look at it and kind of check, and really from my view, what I can see, yeah, it's okay. It's pretty good. So I'm seeing where, from my view, I can see that the points between the top of the log right there and the points between here and here visually are about the same, and I think it looks about right. So now I can check the width, and it looks okay. This part could probably be a little bit better. So I'm just going to adjust that and make it a little bit larger, this hole right here. And I'm not even going to bother with erasing anything on there. I'm just going to leave those mess up lines in there. So that is step one, where I've kind of got the basis outlined. Now step two will be to start putting in some details. And one of the ways you can add details is through cross-hatching, hatching and cross-hatching. So that's just a way to add value. And what that is hatching are just these little lines that are right next to each other, and cross-hatching is when you cross two ways of those lines. So if you can notice from what I can see here, this middle spot is a lot darker, and this spot is getting more of the light. So I'm going to make this lighter. I'm just going to use hatching on these sides. I'm going to use cross-hatching on the middle. And then on the top, I can actually do some of the spiral pattern that's on there. So one thing I forgot, before you start doing the hatching and cross-hatching, you can pick which lines that you liked more and emphasize those. You know, emphasize which parts weren't the mistake. So I know over here I had a mistake, but I'm going to leave that part out, and I'm going to trace over and kind of add to a few more contour lines to the part that I did like. And then once I've finished really kind of finalizing my contour and adding more details, remember to look closely at your object. Then you can start going through and adding hatching and cross-hatching and other types of details and patterns. Now probably if we were doing this in class, my time would be up. But just to throw in another example, this has a ton of great texture. So this is an easy one to not just do hatching and cross-hatching, but you can add value and you can add texture by making whatever lines, you know, repeating these kind of squiggly organic lines that are in the object. So there you can see you can get kind of a lot of texture just from hatching and cross-hatching and adding some other lines that kind of fit your object.